Coming from the Caveman Studios in Buffalo, New York. Welcome to Caveman Corner with your host, Jeff.
Captain Caveman!
Thanks.
Click subscribe and the bell. Do it now!
All right, I'm here with Smooshy Booshy Chadwick. Great to have you on the podcast. I wrote a write-up on your recent fight and Elite Fighting Promotions, and it garnered a lot of interest. Like, I got over 6,000 hits on it. So I thought I'd have you back on the podcast, and I want to do this eventually anyways, but I thought now's the perfect time. We got a lot of interest generated. Now would be a good time to talk about it. So let's start from the very top. And I know you love to tell this story. First, you got your hearing aid in?
Sure do, right here.
Good. He's got his hearing aid in, so you can hear just got to make sure you can hear what I'm saying. You can't wear your bifocals because it melts the computer, right?
Yeah, the glare. I can't see because of the glare.
That's so funny. The things that happen when you're fighting at 56 years old, man. You're an inspiration to a lot of people. But let's jump into that initial story, how we met, and like how you decided to come and be coached by me, because I like the story a lot, actually.
So I was a member at WNY when I first started, and WNY MMA, and Coach used to teach there, and I was standing at the front desk, and there was some MMA fight. They said I had been training for probably about 4 months, maybe 5 months. Thought I was all that. And there was somebody that canceled in an MMA fight. I said, "Hey, I'll do it. I'm going to do it." And Coach caught wind of that. So Coach taught integrity originally was on Sundays at in this different building, and it just was only on Sundays. So that Sunday he was like, "Hey, I hear you want to do an MMA fight." Yeah, he's like, "Well, we got to get some rounds." And I was like, "Okay." Well, let me tell you, in front of my wife and my children, this man beat the living snot out of me. It was so bad. And he did it in a loving way, right? He didn't pound my head into the ground or anything, but he was caveman in me. I had to ask for a break in the middle of the first round because I was so gassed. And he's like, "There's no breaks in MMA." So he gave me one. So a 30-second break, I'm thinking, okay, it's over. I learned my lesson. I'm not an MMA fighter. Oh no, we had to finish the round. And then we finished that round. It was awesome. I learned after that I was definitely not ready for an MMA fight. And I actually, at that point, realized that Jeff was going to be my coach, because that's the nicest and most hardest way anyone's ever told me, "You're not good. You're not ready. You're not ready at all, sir." So that's how that happened.
I knew just from interaction with you and watching you coach, and the way you interacted with your son in class, that like, you're not the kind of person that takes constructive criticism that well. You're always about like, I'll go show him, and like, there's nothing wrong with that, but you just need to know it's not wouldn't be ethical to let you fight, without what could happen, and like you don't know until you know. And a lot of coaches will just like, "Oh yeah, you're good, go out there," and they're just trying to put numbers out, but
it was the most loving ass whooping I've ever taken in my life, because I in front of my wife too, she was like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" And it showed me that I wasn't ready, that I had nowhere near the skill needed to be an MMA fighter, nowhere near the cardio. And it was awesome. The way you did it too was really cool. And the fact that you let me take a break in the middle of a round, laughed at me, and then I thought we were done, and you're like, "Oh no, we're finishing the round." And I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, I want to make sure you're rested so I can beat you up while you're resting. You didn't like think it was total cardio.
Sure.
Yeah, and then like after that, you gave respected me enough to come in, and you gave me your effort, and I've always tried to, even when we were in a big class, I try to give back to you because you are trying, and a lot of people just dismiss someone that's older or out of shape, or like you don't think that they're ever going to be a superstar. Like you just pass them up, and I try to always give the people that work the hardest the most effort, and I always like cared enough about you to try and coach you and make you better because I knew that you were trying, and sometimes like everyone's fighting for something different, and I respect everyone's fight on the mat, and like you've gone and you've proven yourself, and like we're gonna get into like all the stuff that I went through, but that brought you into training with me, and then we were training, and then you're like, I think I want to fight, and I found you a fight with John Gearhart. Can you talk about that and how that went for you, and like the lead up into that, and then we'll break down fight camp a little bit.
Yeah. So uh, I went up to you and I said, I really want to fight. I wanted to fight not because I had something to prove, but I wanted to test the skill set that I had been learning from you, and I wanted to test myself, and I wanted to push myself and see what I was capable of doing. And you told me you found me a fight, and we went into camp, and it was I was doing 2-a-days with you and Doug, and Doug in the morning and you at night. But it was it was something that I was ready for, but I wasn't physically there yet. I was a little overweight. It's still at the time, and we went through camp, and it was you pushed me like you would a fighter, but you did it like you would push at the time I was 54, and it was really cool, and I got to see myself go through that and experience what it's like to not only have accomplish a goal, but to set a goal and then achieve that goal. And it was really good. And John has passed away since that fight. And but that was I know if he was here right now, he would say it was a good fight. He caught me. First 10 seconds, I waved him in, and he caught me with that right hand.
You should have been an 8 count. He put you both your gloves at the mat. They should have counted 8 count there.
Should have given
That
me
should
an
have been your
8 count,
first knockdown.
and they didn't. And then I ended up finishing the fight with knees in the corner, and the rest is history. But I got to say, the one thing I learned a lot about who I was as a person, that I was able to set a goal, achieve a goal, and push myself to boundaries that I didn't know I could achieve. And it takes someone like you to set those boundaries and say, you can do it. You can achieve these boundaries. You can do it. I believe in you. Because sometimes you don't believe in yourself, and having that extra push was really helpful.
Yeah, you developed a good skill set during there. Working with Doug, that was a little bit of a. Can you explain how you knew Doug?
Sure. Doug, at the time I was married, was the ex-husband of the wife I was married to. He is a great guy. His name's Doug Liz. He trains out of Boxstar, and he is an awesome dude. And he really helped me a lot. He would beat me up in the morning, and then I'd see you at night. You beat me up at night, and it was awesome. But yeah, quite an interesting dynamic there.
Yeah, I mean, it takes some. I'm gonna say it takes some serious level of determination or like desire to put yourself in a position where you're working with someone that has a relationship like that with your wife at the time. Like that's a very difficult situation to put yourself into for being vulnerable too. So you're like being very vulnerable with him, and like you're vulnerable. You're an emotional guy. I know, like I don't mean I'm sure that's not a secret to anyone that knows you, but
No,
you're a pretty emotional guy, and for you to be open and vulnerable, it takes a lot. And for you to do all that just showed me. Once I found out who he was, first of all, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like I'm thinking in my head, "This guy is crazy," And you really wanted it, dude, and you really transformed yourself into being like this guy that couldn't move at all, couldn't throw a punch without not falling over, but without totally compromising your balance and your base, and like that super switch kick you used to do from like we call it the push at the gym, where like you jump from one side to the other side. Like this is where Butch was starting from at when this fight was starting, and like you really transformed yourself and learned some skills, and like John Gearhart was a winnable fight. He's always looking for a way out in his fights. He just wants to be a fighter, but he has a very dangerous right hand, and he's going to give you a hard minute. He dropped Mickey Gaskin. Like he's got a lot of a lot of ability. Jeff Karnitsky read a story a few days ago: determination, hard work, and dedication. That's for sure.
Thanks, Jeff.
And this Pat Nixon is photo with him too. That's so you're stealing Pat Mix fans. Anyways, like you transformed your skill set a lot, and you really wanted it. And then you won that fight, and we always joke that hey Ray, why are you not on this podcast? I'm sorry I blocked you on Facebook. It was an accident. I unblocked you. I didn't even know I did it. It must have been like a pocket block. So if you want to jump on, like I sent you the link. Anyways, like we used to joke that you killed Gearhart with that knee, and like we made a big deal out of it, because it's a huge accomplishment that at 54 you won a fight, and then then
he was 14 years younger than me.
Yeah, dude, and he's got a lot more fights than you too.
He had like 13 or 14 fights.
Yeah, and Butch has no fights, and this is his first fight at 54. Like you guys don't like one fight makes a huge difference in a fight. So even if you have a losing record, having 14 fights against a guy making his debut, that's a huge advantage, especially a 54-year-old man making his debut. And no offense, your skill set now is much better than it was at that time. So it was a pretty even fight because you were very, very hittable, and Gearhart hit very hard. So it was a tough matchup for you, and you found out because you egged him on.
I waved him in the first 10 or 15 seconds of the fight, and he caught me with a right hand that I definitely should have got a standing 8 count for. I don't know why I didn't, but the ref just wiped my gloves off, and I wish he would have gave me a standing 8 because I was still a little delirious. And then I woke up and went back to. I basically resorted to everything that we had worked, the knees. It was a kickboxing fight, so there was no clinching. So I backed him into the corner, and then I started delivering knees to his midsection, and that dropped him, and he didn't get back up.
Yeah, that was good. That was a great finish. And then, so we joked about you a lot, and then we got the Derek Voorhees fight, sort of. We went to match it up, and then he couldn't fight because he had some medical suspension going on. And then we eventually made it happen at FCP. But by that time, you had some stuff going on in your life. Can you kind of – I don't want to talk too much about your personal life. I'm going to let you share what you want to share. But can you talk about what you had going on there and what happened into that fight and why you wanted to fight? I kind of want to know why you wanted to fight at that time as well. Was it trying to heal yourself or what? So I'll turn the floor over to you right now.
Okay. Well, I don't know if anybody watching this knows this, but I'm in recovery. I was a recovering alcoholic and addict for 22 years. And I went through some really tough times in life. And I got away from my things that helped me with recovery. And I relapsed, and I lost everything. And it's kind of hard to talk about, but basically I took that fight because I wanted to prove I needed something to focus on other than what was going on in my life, the chaos that was going on in my life. And I got to say, it was a really, it was a tough camp because I wasn't mentally there. And Coach can attest to this because he knows me inside and out. I worked as hard as I could with the tools that I had, but it just wasn't good enough. When you go through something like that in your life, it's hard not to focus on the stuff that's going on that's negative. And fighting was a positive for me. Going to the gym every day was a safe place for me to go. It was a place where I got out of myself for a couple hours a day. But I wasn't the same person that I was in the first fight because I had relapsed. And
can I stop you for a second? So you had already gone to recovery by then and then relapse, right? So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I went to I was sober for 22 consecutive years, and then I relapsed, and then I went to a rehab, and I got out of rehab, and some things happened in my personal life, and I relapsed again, and that's when we took the fight. I was in the midst of trying to get sober, and I had all this stuff going on, and it was a really difficult time. I think it was difficult. It strained our relationship quite a bit. And anyone that's been with a coach that has a relationship with a coach understands that it's, especially in a fight game, it is so important that you are in tune and you are intact with each other. And, it was on me. But I'm happy to say that, since that fight, I've been sober 6 months, clean and sober. And my life has really changed for the positive. It was a very tough fight. I went into that fight, the morning that I left, I got some news about some stuff that was going on with my, at the time, soon to be ex-wife. So I had that in my head driving to the fight. And we got to the fight and it was raining. And I don't know what happened with the tarp, but we did our walkout songs, got into the cage, and then the water just poured down in the middle of the. You remember that, Coach? It poured down, and then there was a 45-minute delay, so I had to walk back out of the cage. So I got all this stuff going on in my head, and finally
I gave you like a 45-minute massage. To be fair,
I am going to talk about that right now. Coach literally massaged my shoulders, my arms for 45 minutes, nonstop.
I should have been a masseuse instead.
Yeah, that's your calling, man. So walked back into the ring and we had the fight. So, and the fight turned out in my favor. Just the way it was. Derek was really tough, man. Derek really took it to me for 2 rounds, but I came on at the end of the second round, and for whatever reason, whatever happened. But I ended up winning the fight. But I got to tell you, I felt really empty. Winning that fight.
Can I interject just a couple things and walk it back a few minutes first? So I recognize that you had some stuff going on. I don't think our relationship was really that strained. We had some stuff, I don't want to say without saying it, I'm going to say it anyways though. You borrow money and then you pay me back. So it was no big deal. And then you asked for money again. I was like, look, I can give you this much, because this is what I can afford if you don't pay me back. So that may have felt like I didn't trust you. I still trust you as a person. I let you in the gym. I knew you could be around the money, but I trusted you not to burn me. But I didn't trust that you were going to be able to recover yourself, because I kept watching you come up and come down and come up and come down. And it was very difficult getting you through that camp, because I could watch you come in and be old butch for 2 days. And then you have a bad day. And then I'm like, oh man, did he drink today? Is he thinking about drinking? Has he got stuff going on at home? So it was a very difficult camp for me to navigate how to coach you. So while it may feel like there was some friction between us, the friction was just me trying to figure out how to coach you the best, because I realized that this fight was more to you than just a fight. And I was trying to help you through the recovery the best way that I could. I knew things were going on with you. And I didn't want to talk to you about it during camp, but I wanted to get us to the best place that we could get. And you tell me these stories, and I'll be all right, take the day off. When do I ever say that? That's not something I would ever say to you. You know what I mean? That is not my answer to the problems. But I didn't want to see you get hurt and miss a couple of days of training and then really fall off the wagon. So there was never that friction that maybe you felt. It's just me trying to navigate coaching you through that. And I knew that the fight was going to be very rough, because we were not the first fight and the third fight, you did a great job absorbing the material we were teaching you. The second fight, not so much. We knew that he was going to come in from the outside. We knew he was going to do all the stuff that he did. and we weren't really prepped for it. We just stood there and let him hit us in the fight, right? Like that's not the Bush Chadwick I know. You know what I mean? The Bush Chadwick I know, like training 2-3 times a day, thinking about it all the time, like learning to beat the man in however we need to. And like you've shown that in your first and third fights that's who you are, and that's who you are in life too, because you've recovered yourself over and over again, and you always come back, right?
Yeah.
But like I knew that this fight, if you lost, it would be a really big deal. So like I'm trying to navigate you not losing this fight and trying to navigate treating you the way you need to be treated. And that I think that's the friction that you were picking up on.
You know, this is the first time I think we've ever talked about this.
It is. It is. And we're doing it live in front of like all the people
live
in the
in
world.
front of hundreds of people. So I will say that I 100%, after you explain that makes all the sense in the world. And what I will say is at that time, and I've told you this before, and I've told you this, that gym saved my life. For whatever reason, going to that gym every day is the reason I got up, and seeing you every day and working with you every day, and the people in the gym and my training partners and all the people that were there, absolutely positively saved my life. It saved my life. I don't know how else to say it. And life was very difficult then, but we got through it because we're fighters. And we got knocked down. We picked ourselves up. We dusted ourselves off. And I got back in the fight. And you were right there behind, standing right next to me. And that's what it's all about. And I am so grateful for you. I've expressed this to you before. I'm not going to get emotional, but not on a podcast. But I will. I'm very grateful for you, and I am grateful for the people of our gym, who absolutely all of you loved me when I couldn't love myself, and absolutely pushed me when I couldn't push myself, and were there to catch me when I fell and pick me up, and it was just awesome. That's what a gym should be. That when you're doing that, that's what a gym should be about, like looking out for each other, and that's awesome.
And then I just want to break down the fight real quick, because that was probably your worst. He's like, I need a drink now. Like, hopefully it's water.
Diet Coke.
Anyways, like those first 2 rounds were not great for you. You were getting picked apart from the outside. Like the training didn't leave you. Or the training did leave you. I mean, like you couldn't put it together. And you got an exchange at the end, and you caught him with an uppercut, and that's all you needed. Was you basically, that's like, you did not hit him very much in that fight, and that was one of the cleanest shots you hurt him with. It was right on the clapper, so I did not even get to see the punch in real life. I was already grabbing the stool to run up to run into the ring to get and yell at you some more. And I heard that shot, and I knew that was one of yours. I heard it. I looked up. I saw his head snap back. And then I got you in the corner. You're like, I can't go back out there. And I'm like, look at him. He wants to quit right now. You're going to fucking get up off the stool. And you did. You got up off the stool. And that's all you needed to do to win, because he wasn't able to get up off the stool and answer. And he may have challenged me. And he may have challenged me during that time as well. But
yeah, he did. I think we need to explain why I said I didn't want to get off the stool. I had been kicked in the groin twice. Full go kick in the groin. And my groin was swelling outside of my cup at the time, so I was in a little bit of pain. I had taken almost 4.5 minutes to recover. Yes, Dr. Kroll, I should always talk to the physician after the fight.
Yeah, not that Dr. Kroll that comes to you. Don't ask him about your balls. That's what he's saying. That's talking about your balls.
But I talked. But yeah, that's why I didn't want to get off the stool. And without getting too personal, on August 28th, the day of my first day of my sobriety, there was a voice in my head that told me to get off the stool and answer the bell. And it was you. And I told you that before, and it saved my life at that particular moment. And I'm just so grateful. God puts people in our life, in our paths for a reason, and I don't know, man. That day wasn't my best performance, and I knew that. And the one thing I will say that you made me do that was like crazy was you made me watch the fight. You told me to watch it.
Yeah.
You're like, you watch that fight because you need to learn from that fight. And I did. And I was like, who is that guy? Because I was sober at the time. Who is that
Yeah.
guy? Like out in the middle of the ring. Like, and it's amazing transformation. So thanks. Thanks, coach.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks to
You
Jim.
needed to hear all that stuff. And
Yes, sir.
then you started helping out in kids class, because obviously you you had to help at the gym a little bit, and so you've been helping out at kids class, and you became like one with the kids class. Like it something that really found you, and you've been a huge help and a huge asset to the program, and you're well loved, and your help is appreciated. We got this chat group, and you're the only one that posts in the chat group all the time. And like you text me all the time too, make sure I don't forget stuff. Like I got a lot going on, and Butch is very, very dedicated to the kids class, more than you guys will ever know behind the scenes. Butch has always helped me out, doing so much. He's running around getting stuff, so I got it for kids class.
It's funny because I was well, the cat's out of the bag. So I was newly sober, and you suggested you needed help with kids class, and you thought it would be good for me. And at the time, I wasn't sure. But man, those kids have done more for me than I could ever do for them. That class is awesome, and just the fun that we have, and teaching them skills, and seeing their eyes light up when they get a skill that they couldn't do, or they do a move, they execute a move that they couldn't get normally. And all of a sudden they execute that move, and they get their eyes light up, and it's awesome to see, and it's just great to be a part of. And I absolutely love that kids class.
Yeah, it's been great to have you there, and I knew that. So like my thing about addiction is like if you're have an addictive personality, you need to be addicted to something. And I think the gym should be about replacing unhealthy addictions with healthy addictions. And I saw the way that you work with Sam, and I was like, man, this is going to be a great addiction for Butch. If I can get him here, this is going to help him so much in life. You know what I mean? And that addiction really took hold, and I'm glad it did. And like our rule was like if we ever get on sober, we can't be in kids class. You know what I mean? And that was the rule, and that's what we've been staying by. And I don't know, like I don't know if it was really a helping tool or not, but I think you've been an amazing help to me. So it helped me out either way.
It's been awesome for me. I love the kids class. Hey, we got back. What time did we get back from my last fight? Like you got back at like 6 a.m. I got back at like 4:30.
Yeah.
We were there the next day with bells on, like ready to go, man. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. It's about those kids, man. Those kids are awesome. And it's great seeing them having fun doing the things that we love to do because they're enjoying it too.
Mm-hmm. And I had them send you that message. That was awesome.
Okay. So I'm getting ready for my next fight. I'm getting ready for my last fight. It's the night before. And coach had the kids film Good Luck Smushy. And they all jumped and they yelled and they cheered. And he sent it to me. So here I am in my hotel room the night before my fight. I'm completely weight sucked. Like I've sucked so much weight, and we'll talk about that later. But I got so I started crying. I'm like, ah! My kid's like, "What's wrong with you, dude?" Like this video, and it was awesome, man. That video inspired me, and it reminded me of exactly why I was doing what I was doing, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
All right, now we're going to get into the last fight. So we had a little bit of fallout from the sobriety part of your life hit us at kids class. So we had some past walk into the gym, and I had to make another decision on like whether to support you or not. And obviously, I stood behind you and I supported you, and you're still here. But you were forced to pull out of the first time you're supposed to fight this man. So can you talk about that the best that you can without you don't have to like spoil yourself, and then talk about the weight gain that we had after that because that was a real problem for us.
Yeah. So the first time I was supposed to fight Dan, my divorce went through. I had got into some trouble when I relapsed, and it kind of caught up to me. But everything's fine. Everything's perfect. It worked out fine. Everything was fine. But it all kind of came at once, and I was actually going to be homeless. Here I am, newly sober, and I'm going to be homeless. And I lost my job. Everything had happened all at once. So it was not good to try and fight in 30 days. So we backed out of the fight. Again, coach supported me. The kids were there. It was great. And what had happened was during my time when this is very common for people to get sober, I ate myself emotionally. I ate with emotions, and I blasted up to like 210 pounds. I'm 5'8", so I look like a bowling ball. I was really fat. And Dan, when we took the fight the second time, said he wanted to fight at 175. And I looked at coach. I said, I can get to 175. And he's like, dude. He's like, he believed in me, but it was quite a task. I mean, we're talking 35, 40 pounds I had to drop.
At 56.
At 56, right. With my metabolism is slow as molasses. So I set a goal. I worked really hard at that goal, and I did it. I weighed in, I made weight, because at Integrity, it is known that if you fight Integrity, you will make weight. We do not miss weight at Integrity. And I had that weighing on me too. And I did not want to be the first person ever at Integrity not to make weight. So I went through it. It took me 10 weeks, and I cut 37 pounds.
Yeah, it was a tough cut because we knew we were going to reschedule the fight. We had talked with them that we can't do it this time. We'll do it the next show. And they agreed to that. And you kind of negotiated yourself the first time for the fight. I would have tried to got you 180 and some travel money for us. But like you're like, oh, I want this fight. And you're like, I can make 75. So like you'd already talked like all the terms. And then those terms like carried over for the next fight. So there wasn't too much I could do. Let this be a warning to you guys as young fighters. If your coach is willing to talk to the matchmaker, let your coach take care of all that stuff because they can get you things you don't even know to ask for. And so like I was unable to help Butch, but we ended up getting through it. And now we had to make 175 pounds instead of 180 pounds. And those 5 pounds can be a huge, huge difference, as Butch knows.
Yeah.
And, Butch had to take a lot of teasing about being a fat kid for a long time because I knew that he had this fight. He knew he had this fight. So I was like, man, we really got to get on his weight. And I knew you were going to show up and fight. I wasn't sure that you could make weight. I was very, very concerned about the weight. I thought you were going to get really close and miss. I thought you'd be close enough to still get the fight, but in my mind, I thought you were going to miss up until about 2 weeks out. At 2 weeks out, I knew you were going to make it. But for a lot of that camp, I didn't think you were going to make it.
So anyone that is cutting weight, I absolutely 100% sympathize with you. So the thing that I did was I set a goal, and I wrote down 175 pounds, and I kept it in my dresser drawer. And every day I opened up my dresser drawer to grab a pair of socks or whatever, I looked at that, and I felt like I function best when I have a goal in mind. When I set my mind to achieve something, whether the goal is I got to go cut the lawn or the goal is I got to cut to 175 and I weigh 212 pounds. So whatever it is, I had to set that goal. So I did. And coach isn't lying. About 2 weeks out, that 5 pounds really would have made an awesome difference because there I was the day before, sitting in a sauna, pouring sweat, spitting, doing everything I can possibly do. And I got the weight off. Thank God to my young son, Josh, who drove me to the fight because I was so delirious. I don't think I would have been. He said I was like slurring my words and stuff. He goes, Dad, you were not of like this world at that point. And we got it. And hats off to the promoter too, because when they did the weigh-ins, the official weigh-ins where you can eat after you weigh in, he let the first fight go first. Normally I'm the first fight, I go last. You know, they do the main event first. And he let the first fight go first. I like looked at him. I'm like, I love you, man. And I already ordered my food. I weighed in, did the pictures, boom, 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 got dressed, got out of there, and went and grabbed a big burger.
Nice, man. I'm glad that you got the burger.
Yes, me too.
That's important. So during this camp, you went back to doing 2 days again. You and Aaron, I got to shout out Aaron. Aaron
Coach
did so much hard work with you.
Coach, I was waiting to get to this point. I want to make a shout out to Aaron Ackley right now. Aaron, if you are watching this, thank you. You helped me become the fighter I am today. Without him, every day he would show up 6 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock, 8 o'clock. It didn't matter. He was there. And he was like, he took on your role. Like he pushed me and he pushed me. And what's crazy is Aaron is half my age.
He's less than half your age, dog.
Yeah, he is 20 years old, 21 years old, whatever. And
he's like a third your age.
Yeah, he's like a third of my age. Okay. Yeah, that's true. I'll take that.
He's not even 21 yet because we couldn't go out after the fights.
No, yeah, that's right. We couldn't. So he really helped me a lot. And I gotta say, you know, Aaron, thank you. I thanked him after that fight. I've sent him text messages, and I mean everything we went through together. You know, when you're a fighter and you're with your coach, you bond and you go through a lot of stuff, man. You know, your coach's job is to push you, not be your friend, and he did absolutely that, and it was awesome. And he coached me up. Coach, he would get what coach wanted him to do, and he'd be like, "We're doing this." And
not only that, dude, like we would text every day, and so I was hoping I was trying to get him to come on the podcast too, and talk about this. So I wanted him to jump in and talk about. We were going to talk about all of the conversations that we had about you. Yeah, Jared's like probably a third of your age.
Yeah,
and, we had so many conversations about you. We were both really worried about your weight. We were both worried about you keeping your hands up. We went back and forth. So he was like way more involved than you even know. Like right after I messaged him after we went to Booma. Thank you, Booma, for having Butch out. Butch got in a couple rounds at Booma. The first time was just about getting through the rounds because we were just trying to make sure that he was in shape. The second time we went was to like stop thumb wrestling, like going there and like, hey, I'm fighting, but take it easy on me. I'm old, right? Like the second time we went in there and we just fought, and then Crew Keith got you at the end and touched up your ribs a little bit, and that was that was awesome. So we got it in and you got better, but all the way through that, Aaron's texting me every day. What do you want me to do with Butch? Like Butch is still leaving his hands down. We talk like, oh man, I don't know how this fight's gonna go. I'm really worried about him. And like we had all these conversations going on between the two of us. So Aaron he's super involved in the whole process of you fighting, and he's really shown like what a great coach he would be if I could actually get him to coach. Hopefully I can get him to start coaching because he's very good, especially one-on-one.
He's amazing one-on-one, and the thing that was really cool about him was he was very forward with his coaching. Like, you need to do this, you need to do X, Y, and Z, but he wasn't like overbearing with it. Just he's exactly like you are. Like, hey, you're gonna do X, Y, and Z. And no, I kind of don't want. No, you're gonna do X, Y, and Z. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
And you know, we would talk, and you know, every day I'd thank him, and again, I just want to also say thank you to anyone that sparred any rounds with me, that worked with me. The people in our gym were awesome, and the people at Booma were great. Armani over at JT's was awesome. I sparred with him. it's awesome. It's an awesome community, man. They really helped me get better. And, I got tooled up the first time we went to Booma. I got tooled up, man. I got tooled up. And then the second time we went, it was pretty good. Until Crew Keith got a hold of me and it was demonstrating sweeps to me. And I was like, I've never been manhandled like that in my life. It was wow. And it was awesome. It was just a great experience. And I'm really thankful for the people that stepped up and helped. And Aaron was awesome. Our gym was awesome. I mean, to be a member of the gym when somebody's fighting and that the whole class is dedicated to a particular set of movements for that person that's fighting and still keep coming to class with a smile on your face and be encouraging and stuff like that says a lot. And
we avoided a lot of kicks for a little bit. So like obviously your knee is not the best in the world and you're like 172 pounds overweight at the time. So it's like hard for you to like kick things. So by the end you were looking good with your kicks, right? When you get down to like a manageable weight, when you're not 226 pounds kicking the pad. Yeah. Once we got you down to weight, it wasn't so bad, but like for a while we weren't doing much kicking, and we did a lot of punching drills, and like people probably getting sick of punching. They're like, hey, this is Muay Thai, not boxing, But we did the stuff that you needed to do, and we continue to do that, and like we're only as good as our weakest person, so we continue to work one-on-one with people, and we work on stuff, and we still do kicks, obviously, and we still do Muay Thai, but like most of the lesson plans where we actually taught were based on things that were going to help you in the fight. And, that's kind of what we do, because if you need in a fight, someone else is going to need in a fight too. It's not like it's all useless. So
no, it was awesome. And everybody, yeah, I mean, we did when we were how about when we were clinch sparring for 15 minutes at a time? Like, whoa, let's go. Like,
yeah, that's important, man. Like all the stuff that we worked on is important. Yeah.
Yeah. The clinches and coach and you and Aaron and Coach Keith, Crew Keith, showed me exactly how important the clinch is.
Yeah, and you got a sweep in your fight too, so it worked out good. It was worth it all.
It did. Yeah, Dan was tough.
I wish I could have sparred you more this camp. I could have gave you some more look southpaw, but like if anyone doesn't know, I was going through concussions like this whole time with Butch pretty much. I got kicked in the head teaching jiu-jitsu, not even like doing jiu-jitsu. And then, like the idiot I am, after I got kicked so hard that I didn't know where I was, I thought it would be good to spar some more after that. And I got hit in the head again. So I had like some double concussion stuff going on. I'm back now pretty much. I sparred again a couple times and I've been rolling. So I think I'm okay again. I took some good shots. I let people hit me with my hands down, just to make sure I was okay.
Unbelievable. Coach had like a grade 40 concussion. He's going into people with his hands down, like, hit me, hit me, hit me. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, Evil Wipeout Joe definitely got me. Evil Wipeout Joe backstepped the wrong way and kicked me in the face. Like X.
All the stuff you do, and it was teaching that got you.
I know. It was teaching simple stuff, too. It wasn't even like rolling. Rolling's not very safe. That's definitely not safe, but teaching should be safe. Anyways, it all worked out, and even Evil Wipeout Joe felt bad about it, so it's good. And it's crazy because a lot of people haven't even sparred with me that are in the gym now. Like, that's how long I was out for. It was a really long time. But I wanted to make sure I was safe before I came back.
Yeah, it's your head. You should probably be safe with that.
Yeah, it was bad because I was getting, like, sick, and I was having some cognitive problems, like, not even be able to think of the right word at times for a long time. And like even jumping rope was giving me headaches, so I had to take a long break. But I'm back now, and my brain is as healed as it's ever going to get because it's not too smart in the first place. But we're back, and now let's get into that fight. The fight didn't start out too great for you, and I thought this was like it's like the perfect Butch fight. Because it started out rough. It looked like you were on ice skates for like the first minute of the fight. You were really
the floor was really slippery. But everybody that I've talked to, I know the guys that were commentating said I slipped when I got to standing 8, and I just want to give credit to Dan. It was a good shot. It was a hard shot. I may have slipped a little bit, but the dude rocked me. Like I deserved a standing 8. And truth is truth, and honesty is honesty, and it's a fight game. And Dan was tough, man. He was a tough dude. That dude hit hard, and he caught me. And lo and behold, my hands were down, and they were up after that. But it was a good fight. I came on in the next 2 rounds, and did exactly what we trained. The thing that threw me off was he fought southpaw the whole time, and I had trained a little bit against southpaws, but we had a couple combinations set up, and I couldn't do them, or my skill set wouldn't allow me to do the combinations the smushy that I wanted to do, the smushy combination, because he was fighting southpaw, and it threw me off. But what was great, and this is why you need a good coach, was after the first round, coach was like, you got to circle away from his power. And that changed the whole course of the fight. Absolutely, that fight was a draw. And it was a draw because my coach made the adjustments exactly like a coach should. I coached lacrosse for a long time. And the game's about making adjustments and adjusting to what the other team's doing and making them adjust to what you're doing. And that was it was awesome. Coach is like, you got to circle. So I started circling, keep your hands up, do this, do that. And it changed the whole course of the fight.
Yeah. So like he would switch to kick, and he didn't kick very much in that fight either. So like when we watched the other tape, we saw how much he was kicking, and he would kick out of a pretty much orthodox stance generally to set up his kicks. And so we worked on countering that body kick a lot because it doesn't really kick the head too much. But he didn't really kick with you at all. He basically went boxing on you. There was not too many kicks like in the other fight.
No.
And like for some reason you just were like just right in front of him. We always worked on circling, but we were not taking our 8 steps off. You know, we were standing right on the center line. We didn't move our head when we punched, and we paid the price. But once we started circling away from the power, and you came back to the corner, you did everything I told you in the corner, and we won the next 2 rounds. It worked out really, really good for you. You almost came back and stole the first round, but I still think it was a 10-8 first round. The sweep was really nice, but like he controlled that first like minute and a half pretty cleanly.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to question the judge's call on that. It was 10-8 round. Yeah, I swept him. I was happy I swept him because I that's my jam. I love sweeps. Anybody that's sparred with me has known that I like to sweep, and he was a tough dude, man. And I think there was a little bit of nerves. Place was packed, and they were all like for him. I had Tom and Josh cheering me on, and you and Aaron. That was about it, and Amanda. So it was tough, but nerves kind of set in a little bit. And then when I came back and you said, do this, do that, do this, that, and we did it, and it was being successful. It changed the whole course of the fight.
Yeah, and you came back, you're like, I lost that fight. And just like you came back from the first round, you're like, I lost it. I got knocked down. It's over. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? We got 2 rounds. Let's go. Let's get it together. You know, like we're fine. Sit down, take some water. And then you just came back out and like you do what you do. You get emotional. You're like, fuck, I'm losing. And then we calm you down. You just go back out and you do what you need to do. You know, and I really think that's the story of your life, dude. Like, I know the picture perfect thing is you come back and you win, but I think this is the story of your life, you know?
Yeah.
Like, life doesn't always end up like perfect, and it doesn't end up clean.
No.
And you came back and you got what you deserved. You deserved a draw. You won the next 2 rounds. And I think you did an amazing job. And maybe someday we'll run that back. Hopefully. I know there's talk of it. I know you got to get some shit together first, but I would like to see you guys run that back. I think you don't slip around in that first round, and we win this one. Amanda Ray, I heard some random woman yell "smooshy" behind me who I've never seen before.
Let's go. I got a fan.
That must be the person you're texting in class now.
Yeah, you know, I got a lot of things in life I got to sort out. But I think I would like to run that back again. Just because it ended in a draw. I don't know if I want to drive 4.5 hours again in a snowstorm. Take 7 hours to get home. That was kind of rough, but maybe we can meet somewhere in the middle and figure it out. But it was a good
in the summertime too.
Yeah, we got summertime.
Good.
It was a good fight, and I'll tell you, Elite Fighting Promotions was a great promotion to fight under. Don is a really good promoter, really good guy. He was great to work with. Literally, I would message him on Facebook and I'd have a response within 5-10 minutes. He was awesome to work with and really good promotion. And I would definitely love to fight under that promotion again. He did bust my chops about being in the senior division a couple times. I was like, dude, come on, man.
This guy's in the senior division too, though. Like it's fair.
Yeah, it's fair commentary. So, but yeah, I think we probably will run that back again. Hopefully, maybe towards the end of summer.
Yeah, Don and Jay, they run a great show. They've always treated me with a lot of respect too. They're doing good things with Elite. The fights were like every show I've been to, the fights have been getting better and better and better. They've been getting better match, putting on better fights. They had some great fights. The main event that got dropped, that Kitab and Mixon fight would have been fire. It's too bad Kitab couldn't make weight.
I saw Mixon in the gym when I was working with Aaron. Mm-hmm. And we talked, and he was so fired up for that fight, man. My heart just broke for him. Like, oh.
Yeah. And that never comes down. It's not when the fights fall out, it's not the promoter's fault. So, like, these guys, like K4, Elite, these guys are, like, matching together some great cards. And sometimes fights fall. It's not their fault. Things happen, and, like, it's a tough game. I mean, it happens in UFC, too. It's not just, like, the local guys, but it's tough when fights fall. Just like Derek lost his fight like 2 days out, we couldn't get a replacement too. Things happen. It's terrible and it sucks. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
All I know is if I would have sucked all that weight, got down to 175, made weight, and then the fight didn't happen, you probably would have had a raging lunatic on your hands.
We matched you up with somebody, yeah. For sure. Or he missed weight. Can you imagine he missed weight? That'd be even worse.
Oh.
We would have took the fight no matter what. We make weight, and then we smash people.
Yes, sir.
So I was super happy with Aaron. Aaron did an awesome job coaching. I like how you came back to me like, I lost. I'm like, you didn't lose, dude. It's a draw for sure. And I was so sure it was a draw. Like, I told Aaron it's a draw. I told everyone it's a draw. It was definitely a draw.
You said it was a draw, and like I immediately felt calm because I was like, I lost. And you're like, no, dude, it's a draw. You won 2 rounds. And I like looked at you, and I've seen the look on your face, and I was like, all right, yeah, maybe it is a draw. And then it was a draw, majority draw.
Dude,
I'm gonna look what the other judge had, how he had it scored. If it was a majority draw, that means one judge had somebody.
He won on 1 card, and it was a draw on 2 cards. So,
okay.
So it's a majority draw. It would have been a unanimous draw if all the scores were the same. Okay. But Gamma does an awesome job. So I know some people don't like Tom Kilkenny. Like all these guys, all these commissioners all have like very strong personalities, right? I like Tom. I kind of like his no bullshit attitude. I like Tom, even though like his commission is the one that cost Derek to fight. It's not their fault. They're following their rules,
Right.
It's really the corner's fault that his gloves weren't signed. But anyways, like as many problems as I had with Gamma, I think they do an amazing job. And I like them a lot. I like Joe Wall too. Joe Wall from ISKA. I like him too. Both of those guys are very, very vocal and they have very, very distinct personalities. But I like Gamma. Gamma, you always know what you're going to get scoring wise. Like the scores, the way that they run their judging is always the same. So for a Gamma fight, exactly what you're going to get judging wise. And I was 100% sure it was going to be a draw. I thought it would be probably a unanimous draw, but majority draw is like close enough. And I can't say enough good things about Gamma that you can always understand what the scoring is. It doesn't change judge by judge. Their scoring is always the same. And that's a huge compliment to a commission and organization. So I just wanted to give them a huge shout out too. Like I said, no problem with the draw. It was a hard fought draw. So. Yeah. And it was awesome. It's like the story of your life, man. Like it really is. Like you just come back and you make the adjustments and you just keep on living. And that's what's going to happen to you now. You're going to get another great job. And we talked about it already. And you're going to like start putting it together. And then
That's right.
this next camp will be easier because you have some more resources. Like
And I
I
won't
can't,
be as fat.
yeah, I can't tell you, dude. Like knowing that you're so overweight and knowing like you don't have a place to go to really cut weight and knowing you couldn't afford to do like privates with someone like during the day like you were before, like it gave me a lot of cause for concern that you weren't going to make weight. And like once Aaron started helping you and taking you to the gym, I was like, and then you really started getting it together. I was like, man, we got this. And for the last 2.5 weeks, me and Aaron were so confident you were going to win. And like your hard work is what turned it around. And the other thing I was really concerned about was you actually making weight and not being able to fight at that weight. But you did it perfectly right. You did the water load right. You stayed away from energy drinks after. I'm like, why are you drinking an energy drink right now? It's got sodium in it, dog.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's got sodium in it? You're like, yeah, dude. I was like, no energy drinks.
That's the worst part for me too, dude. I gotta take caffeine pills when I water load
Oh,
because I can't you can't take energy drinks because there's like so
no.
much sodium in them. But you
That's
did
awesome.
it, dude, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you so
And
much.
man, it's been great having you back at the gym too. Like I had to take a little bit of time off from the kids class to like really make sure you're cutting weight. And I was like, I wanted you to take more time than you actually did, but you toughed it through and you're like, nah, man, I gotta be there for the kids. So like I appreciate everything that you did and put your body through, and you did exactly what I asked you to do. Like you don't get more proud as a coach.
Thanks, Coach. That makes me awesome. That makes me feel really good. Thank you.
Good man, it's true, and I would say the same thing, to Aaron. I love the like friendship and the way you guys developed. And looks like we're gonna get Tom next, and hopefully get Aaron back up on there on the card.
I
And
can't wait to help those guys. Those guys were
yeah,
such a huge help to me. I wish I could bring in more pizza. The whole gym was just such a huge help.
don't
It was
worry, I
just-
ate all their slices for them.
yeah, you ate like 6 slices, dude. I brought in a large pizza the Monday after my fight to help everybody. For everybody that helped me. Coach ate half of a large pizza.
I was like, this slice is for Deshaun. Oh, this slice is for Aaron.
That's awesome.
I
It was
know.
awesome to see.
Uh, I got their shits too right after, so it was perfect. It
Good
was
for
a good
you.
night.
Well
Yeah.
deserved. Well
Yeah.
deserved.
All right, man. That's takes us up to where we at. What's next for you?
Next for me is I am going to focus on being a better coach in kids class. And I am hopefully tomorrow I find out if I got a job, which I think I did. And just going to stay sober one day at a time and train my butt off. And I think Dan and I are probably going to end up rolling it back one more time. Can't end it in a draw, man. I'm sure it's probably bothering him too that it was a draw. And may the best man win. He's a great dude. You know, I shook his hand in the middle of the ring. I talked to him and I said to him, I said, I know what you went through because I know what I went through. And I said, I have so much respect for you. And he's like, thanks. He goes, I got a lot of respect for you too. He's a good guy, you know.
Yeah.
But there we were, 2 old men slugging it out. And by the time we fight again, I might be 57.
Yeah. Well, you know, old people got to fight too.
Yeah,
We all got demons in us that need to come out.
that's right.
And I just want to say, you gave me a token a while back, and I have it on my windowsill, and I look at it every day. And one of the things that I made the gym for is to help situations like you're in, you know. And every day, I look at that token, and I'm like, I can help someone today.
That's
And
awesome.
it really helps me get through those days that are really tough. You know, like my schedule is hard, and it can feel very unrewarding at times in my life. And like when I get up and I walk by the window to usually in the morning because I don't come home that much anymore before class, but I walk by that token every day, and like I have a couple things on that window. So I have a picture someone made me. I have the poem Forest Row for school, and I have that token. And every one of those things means something different to me. And I look at them, and every day I'm get encouraged by those 3 things, and that's what gets me through my day sometimes. You know, on those days where everyone's like, "Man, why?" You know, like you go to the gym, not everyone's always appreciative of what you do for them. You know, and like sometimes like, oh my God, why am I doing this? And some days you need that little bit. Some days you just get up in the morning like, I'm gonna fix this on this guy today. Like some days are easy, some days are hard, but you got to be consistent every day. When you're the leader, everyone looks up to you. You don't get any days off, so you have to be that guy that puts their own shit on the side and gets through everything.
Well, you're a great leader and a great coach, and I wouldn't be sitting in this chair if it wasn't for you. Just know that. And we've discussed this in private, but I would not be sitting here right now if it wasn't for you.
Awesome. Well, we're getting through all that. We got some people to thank. Thank you, Armstrong's Armory. I know you just got a new Facebook page. I know you guys support K4. So that's why I started out with the hat on. Thank you, K4. Thank you, K4, for always supporting me and giving me a job and some stuff to write up. Thank you to Integrity Martial Arts, who pays for all these podcasts and all the advertisement that I do for K4. And thank you to Elite Fighting, number one, for having Butch out, and number two, for letting me commentate over there. I really appreciate you letting me get a guy in the card and still commentating. And, dude, not only that, I had to cover Cedric, too. So, like, they were okay with me going corner Cedric as well, which is a really, really cool thing. Because, like, Cedric didn't have a corner, so he needed someone to sit there with him and, walk him through his fight. So me and Aaron cornered two people that night. And, while he didn't have the best of luck, at least he had someone in his corner that cared about him. And hopefully we take care of him, too.
Awesome,
man. With that, thank you guys for watching Caveman's Corner. We'll be back next week. Hopefully Ray will be with us. Ray had some serious COVID, but I think he's done with it now. And hopefully he didn't cough on me.
See you later, Coach.
See you, Eugene.
Oh, I knew it. There it was.